maybe a little tired the second night of a back-to-back.
Again, I attribute that to just, a lot of fatigue.
I know a lot of you can relate to this. In my 20s, after work, you understand, after work, I'd go play basketball for 3, 4, 5 hours on concrete in the Payless Shoe Source $20 basketball shoes, special shoes that I could afford every night of the week. And we have to hear about pros who do this for a living. The only thing they had to do that day was play this basketball. And we have to feel bad that they did it 2 nights in a row every now and then.
On a back-to-back, just him giving us energy, I think, was the goal. I maybe put him in a tough spot, flying up yesterday. And
so being flown up is the reason a 20-year-old couldn't perform well?
He didn't play well, but he's been playing great, in the Stay Ready games, and he's been playing great in the G. So
you have to be playing in the G League to be playing great in the G League. He hasn't played in the G League except for one carefully selected game in recent history. The rest of the time, it's been this garbage as a bench warmer in the regular NBA. Anyway, thanks to all the capping, we're going to take another look at the G League today and see who has outplayed Bronny in the G League, which is basically everyone, and how he's actually been doing in the regular league. Take a look at this carefully selected home game against the 5-win remix that JJ thought he should play in. I'm scrolling through the South Bay Lakers schedule, and I'm seeing Bronny not playing any of these games except for one carefully selected home game against the 5-win Rip City remix. So, yeah, and I know you're going to be like, oh, well, he was on the roster for the Lakers. He was in the official roster. Well, that's just dumb. That's just dumb. And then you plop him back down into the G League, and he has one breakout scoring performance, and JJ Redick uses that as justification to say that he's been playing great in the G League. He played one game. You don't know if that's a fluke or not, but more so, let me ask you this. Jabari Rice had a 30-point game. That's that one extra point is the difference between being worthy of being called up. Are you sure you don't want to call up Jabari Rice to bring you energy? Because he's playing great in the G League, according to your own standards, JJ. Oh, and look at this. DeJuan Gordon with a 30-point game. Are you sure you don't want to call him up? Bryce McGowens for Rip City Remix scored 36. Did Portland call him up? Of course not, because they know it's the G League, and it doesn't mean anything, especially when it's a one-off. You need to be playing great consistently in order for the franchise to say, okay, maybe we need him on our real roster. But that common sense is apparently missed on LeBron James's own personal court jester, Gilbert Arenas, as I see from Uncommon Sense's thumbnail. He thinks, oh, everybody needs to give praise to Bronny James for having one good game. That's just dumb, like almost everything that comes out of Gilbert and LeBron fanboys' mouths. Come on, it doesn't mean anything, but we're haters because we didn't spend time celebrating something that we all know doesn't actually mean anything? Oh yes, we need to be excited about what you are excited about, which, oh, what do you know? It's always something pro LeBron James or pro Bronny James that you guys jump all over. Now, if we're hating because we aren't celebrating exactly what you want, then guess what? You're hating if you aren't celebrating what we think you should be celebrating. What's wrong with you, Gilbert? Where's your special episode about Bryce and his breakout game? Oh, you're a hater. You're a Bryce hater. You see how stupid and easy and simplistic that type of thinking is? Let's take this a step further. You want to get excited about one standalone game in the G League, but you don't want to cover how terrible Bronny was in this most recent game against the 76ers. Let's consider one of the examples from the opening of this video, Reed Sheppard. In the G League, he scored 49 points. According to Gilbert Arenas, that means he should be playing in the regular NBA, because Gilbert thinks Bronny's 31 in the G League means something. However, the Houston Rockets have sent him back down to the G League because he can't perform yet in the NBA. You are supposed to be in the G League when you can't perform in the NBA. And when I say can't perform in the NBA, Reed's numbers are better than Bronny's. And he's not in the NBA anymore. That's how it works, Gilbert. We're not hating on somebody when they show us that they shouldn't be playing in the real NBA league. We're observing reality. Most of us don't pay attention to the G League, except that Bronny James was being forced down our throats. I didn't know that Reed Sheppard scored 49. Did you? Because I didn't see you make a video about it. Therefore, you must be a Reed Sheppard hater. Nope, it's called the G League, where players are supposed to develop until they're ready for us to actually care about them. But the NBA is now using the actual league to develop somebody who still isn't developing. You don't want to cover how terrible LeBron was. They were both shockingly bad. What do you mean? What do you mean LeBron was bad? He had 31 points. Oh, well, there we go again. The same number of points that Bronny had in the G League. It has to mean that he's great. Has to mean he's a great player. Did you look at anything else in that game? Did you look at the absolute absurdity that was LeBron James and his fouling and the refs cheating for him and his 8 freaking turnovers? 8 turnovers? Shame on you. Here's Jabari Rice with another near 30-point game. And I see Gordon with several 20-plus point games, and he's almost always in the double digits. You know, that's consistency, something Bronny doesn't have. I go back to December 7th to finally find a G League game that Bronny played in. And guess what? He gets the headline, 16 points. Well, guess what else happened that game? Maxwell Lewis had 26 points, but Bronny still got the headline. And Gordon, who I've mentioned a few times, had 20. Also outscoring Bronny. But hey, Bronny's who we need to focus on here. Here's December 21st, and Bronny played again, but it was Gordon with another near 30-point game, which none of us ever heard about, and Bronny James had 6 points. But we're not going to hold that against him, and we're also not going to praise Gordon. Do you guys remember November 9th when Quincy Olivari had 28 points? And Lewis had 27 points? No, I'm guessing not. And Bronny James with his 6 points and his 0 for 4 from 3 got the cover again. No, seriously, this is the South Bay Lakers news cover for that game. It was November 15th when Quincy Olivari scored 33 points. I don't remember him getting called up. I don't remember J.J. Redick saying, wow, he's playing great. He deserves to come up and bring us that energy. I'll bet you Quincy wouldn't have used the excuse of it being a back-to-back or being flown up or whatever ridiculous crap came out of JJ's mouth. And look, there's Gordon. Another 20-point game, 23 points. Looks like somebody's consistent and consistently being ignored. Quincy with 24 on November 17th. I focused on just South Bay Laker games to find my examples. But if I expand it, look at what guys have been doing in the G League, points-wise. I'm just going to read some of these. 51 points, 49 points, 47 points, 46 points, 46 again, 45, 43, 43, 42, 41. It's just more evidence that there's no reason to get excited when somebody has one 30-point game. Now we're going to talk about why you shouldn't get excited about a 30-point game in the regular NBA. How many times over the years have I shown that when LeBron has a big scoring night, it comes in a loss. It usually is at the expense of the Lakers. I mean, 80 to 90% of the time. But it's not just that those are hollow points because they came in a losing effort. 31 points doesn't really mean much anymore. I mean, I don't have to look past that same night. There were only 4 games that night, and that's still enough for me to have multiple examples of players scoring 30 or more points. For example, how about the guy that beat LeBron, Maxey? Maxey blew LeBron's numbers out of the water. Well, he must be the GOAT. Colin Sexton, 30 points. He must be the GOAT. Giannis, 39 points. He must be the GOAT. Denny Avdia, who the hell is that? But he must be the GOAT. The night before, his own teammate, Anthony Davis, scored 42. He must be the GOAT. And guess what? At least in that case, the Lakers won. I'm telling you, when LeBron's the high scorer, it's usually bad news for the Lakers. Also, that night, Zion Williamson, he still plays basketball? 31 points. Must be the GOAT. Tyler Hero, 30 points. Must be the GOAT. Amon Thompson, 33 points. Must be the GOAT. DeAndre Hunter, 35 points. Must be the GOAT. Jokic, 33 points. Must be the GOAT. Giannis, again on a back-to-back. Another 30-plus point night. 35 for Giannis. Must be the GOAT. Look what happens if I dig in deeper to that game. Damian Lillard also with 35 points. There's 2 GOATs on one team? Do you guys get the point that what LeBron is scoring doesn't mean shit today? I know you're going to retreat to saying how old he is. And oh, look what he's doing at this age. Oh my God, people. Is he the GOAT or not? Is he number 2 in the league or not? Is he top 10 in the league or not? Look at all the 30-point games that these people have had. Shea has had 28 30-point games already this season. LeBron's own overlooked, underappreciated teammate Anthony Davis has had 18 30-point games. Someone deep in your souls, you know that LeBron James couldn't be getting these points at this age if he wasn't cheating his ass off. He doesn't have to follow any of the rules anymore in order to keep putting points on the board. In losses. When on a nightly basis on each team in the NBA, at least one person on every single one of those teams is scoring 30 points, can we acknowledge that scoring 30 points doesn't mean shit in 2025? Yes, LeBron is 40, but you're acting like he's scoring 30 in an age where no one is scoring 30. You know what? I'm just being a hater for looking at Bronny's performance in the 76ers game. So let's look at Bronny's performance against the lowly Wizards. There you go, Bronny. You proved me wrong.